Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today's gist is coming from Lanre Gentry. Well, he is not mentioning anybody's name, but he decided to call out all the women, saying they are all looking for financial stability. No woman says I love you for free. They want something else in return. And someone who is a follower of Lanre Gentry made passes at Aigbe, saying your ex is living off someone else's sweat, and so I agree with you on the statement you have made. Sharing a video of himself and his last child, it may interest you to know that Mr. Gentry has older children and some are even married. Well, in the video, Mr. Gentry was spotted with his last child, his daughter Maya, who he had with his new and latest wife, Lanre Gentry. He added a caption to this video explaining that he loves his children and that his children are his priorities. Aside that, there is no love anywhere. In his words, he said, no woman can build house for a man for free without asking for something back like they will see. I thank God for my life and for the children. I do not joke with any of my children because they are my life. In God, I trust. This was Mr. Gentry sharing this, that there is nothing free from women. They always ask for something back in return. And right in the comment section, a user said, correct man, your ex is living off someone else's sweat. And this comes after all the gbasgbos that happened earlier this year with Aigbe, Kazeem Adeoti, Lanre Gentry and Funsho Adeoti. Well, this caught a lot of people by surprise when she came out fully owning up that she's now in a relationship with Mr. Kazeem Adeoti. A lot of people felt really bad and really sad for the wife, who is Funsho Adeoti. And Funsho Adeoti also fought tooth and nail just to let the world know that she worked for this and she will not sit back and watch another woman eat her sweat. Contrary to what Aigbe and Kazeem Adeoti are claiming, that they were never friends, nothing ever happened back then, as so many people have claimed, this is not true, as some puzzles are beginning to add up. Now, in 2021, Mr. Gentry and Aigbe were at each other's jugular after Mercy celebrated herself on Father's Day. Well, Mr. Gentry went ahead to share that it cost him nothing to expose all the sexcapade of Aigbe with the marketers, but he wouldn't do that because of their son, and of course she's a good mother. But one day the truth will be out, and that day was earlier this year in January, when Aigbe decided to come out of her hiding and own up her shit, saying she's now a new wife to Mr. Kazeem Adeoti, and they already had their traditional wedding and every other rites are taking place. Now, in an interview after they both come out and owned up to be in a relationship with each other, Mr. Kazeem Adeoti explained in the interview that he had advised Aigbe not to leave her marriage, and that back then he was still residing in the USA. But one thing Mercy said to him was that if she were to be Mr. Kazeem's sister, will he advise her to remain in such marriage? And that was how he left things. And when he got back to Nigeria, they started off things from there. So apparently, this is two things. Aigbe was still married to Mr. Gentry while she was having this conversation with Mr. Kazeem Adeoti. And it also gives a concrete base to the fact shared by Funsho Adeoti, where she was saying in the post she shared online that Aigbe had been a menace to her marriage for years. And this is contrary to what Kazeem and Mercy were claiming, that they never knew each other, they were not friends, they didn't know, nothing was going on up until recently when he got back to Nigeria. And also Mr. Gentry shared that as a socialite, he knows when something is going on between a man and a woman, and this comes after Mercy claims to have a business meeting and business talk with Kazeem Adeoti, and he said he confronted her that there's something going on, but she denied this. In 2020, here was what Mr. Lanre Gentry shared about his ex-wife, explaining that it cost him nothing to expose all her prostitution and act with the so-called marketer. In his words, he said, "Mercy Aigbe, it does not take me a minute to expose all your shady secrets, callous, inhumane, and prostitution acts with all your so-called marketer. But I will not, because of my son Olajuwon and your very good mother. But when the time comes, the whole world will still know the fake life you are living. And you need to stop all this, your arrogant life." This was Mr. Gentry sharing this. And speaking of the interview where Mr. Kazeem Adeoti was explaining that he initially advised her not to leave her marriage. In his words, he said, "When she had bad experience in her last marriage, I was advising her then not to leave her marriage. Then she asked me, if I were your sister, are you going to ask me to be in an abusive relationship? So I just left her a little because I was in the US." Speaking further, he said after this, he gave Aigbe some money and invited her for dinner, an act that rekindled their relationship and eventually led to their marriage. On his relationship with Gentry before he married Aigbe, Mr. Adeoti said though they knew each other before the recent marriage, they had never been friends. And also, finally completing the puzzle was when Funsho Adeoti explained that all of their claims and all of the things said on social media and in the interview, it's all lies and she's not a part of it. And here was what she had to say. In our what she said, "I want you all to know that in contrast to what Mr. Adeoti said, I did not and will never settle to have a second wife in my marriage to him. Kazeem, you should stop painting a perfect picture of a marriage you clearly do not have with me, Oluwafunsho Asiwaju Couture. You and your side chick can continue with whatever it is you're doing, but never come out social media degrading me or my children with your demeaning and childish attitude. I will not stoop to your level of rubbish and stupidity. You have been sleeping with Kazeem since your son was only 5 months old. I introduced you to Kazeem as my friend. I called and personally invited you and your ex-husband to the 40th surprise birthday party I did for my soon-to-be ex-husband. You were a constant friend of mine back then. I brought you close as a friend because I liked you, but you repaid me by sleeping with my husband. You were a problem in my marriage for years. Now I am happy to let you know this is only the beginning of the end of you. I'm done. He is all yours. Enjoy. I'm really past this. Like I said in my first post, losing someone who doesn't respect or appreciate you is actually again not a loss." Well, Mercy Aigbe and Mr. Kazeem seems to be in love, and they don't hesitate to share this with their fans on social media. Well, a lot of people are rooting for them. At the same time, a lot of people are looking out to see how this marriage between these two is going to end, positively or negatively. Guys, let's share your opinion in the comment section. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment in the comment section below. Thank you. Bye.